Alright, guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of another Blood Hunt tie-in. Comes from my good friend Chris. Chris, thank you once again, bro. And yeah, as I said, I'm going to be moving through the Marvel books. Every time I do a Marvel review, I'm going to be doing Blood Hunt tie-ins. And trust me, there was a lot of them. I don't know what it was, but like Marvel decided to go ham on this Blood Hunt tie-ins. Now, so far, I have been doing reviews of comics that I was directly reading, and they were basically books that were directly like and had meaning to it. And there are two. Now we're getting into tie-ins that there's two. You can make the argument three of them are going to be like, again, essential, what I consider essential tie-ins to the book of the main event. Avengers, Vengeance of the Moon Knight, and Miles Morales, as well as Doctor Strange, were all like quintessential because they were a part of their own ongoing stories. So now we're getting into full tie-ins now. Like now we've moved into out of story arc tie-ins to now just tie-in minis. And we're going to kick things off with one that isn't really essential, Amazing Spider-Man Blood Hunt. Or Blood Hunt Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to reference this. So yeah, it does have one issue tie-in, and also weirdly has the issues from the Miles Morales book as well, which are like, I don't know why you did that again. Like, you had the Miles Morales book tie-ins in the main trade, so I don't know why you put them in here. Makes no sense. Was it just so you could beef up the price to $20? I don't know. This doesn't feel like $20. Yes, this does also have the one-issue Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. did for the comic. Which, by the way, reading Zeb Wells' Spider-Man used to be fun before his run. Because I know Zeb Wells, and I've talked about this before, I know Zeb Wells can do really good Spider-Man comic. I am well aware he can do a great Spider-Man book. But his run, I don't know if it was Nick Lowe or personal things, but Jesus. So yeah, getting back into this book, the story centers around what Peter was doing during the Blood Hunt storyline. So basically, Peter is in the middle of the vampire attack and actually gets caught by the Lizard, who's teamed up with Misty Knight, and they believe they have a cure for the vampirism, but they need to find Michael Morbius, who, alongside Colleen Wing, has been kidnapped by this guy named Who the Fuck Cares. That's what I call him, Who the Fuck Cares. And Peter, Lizard, and Misty Knight have to like team up in order to find them. Reason why Lizard is there is because Morbius was also working on a antidote for Connors as well. Because God knows we haven't done that before. It's also weird because I distinctly remember in the Nick Spencer run, wasn't Connors still connected to the Lizard? They're saying like they got separated. And I'm like, yeah, and also Lizard, they're having like, oh, Lizard can't speak anymore, and he's having trouble speaking. Okay. Maybe I just missed something, but I distinctly remember in Spencer's run and other comics that like Lizard and Connors were like, Connors had put his brain in the Lizard's body. Like he had basically made himself like the Lizard. He made himself like what Banner had done with the Hulk a while back in the run. The Peter David run. Why'd I say the run? Well, I guess you could call it the run when it comes to that series, but I'm getting off topic. So yeah, this comic's not good. I'm going to be honest. If you're looking for Blood Hunt tie-ins, this is not good. Spider-Man, the writer of this book, let me look it up real fast. It's not Zeb Wells. The writer is Justin Ireland, who, that name sounds familiar. Like, Justin Ireland does sound like a familiar writer, but the comic has some really just awkward dialogue, and the story is very disinteresting. And this is not on Ireland himself, but on Marvel in general, where, can we just stop shitting on Peter Parker? Like, Peter has been like a veteran superhero, and it seems like only Zdarsky and only like 5 other writers remember that. Whereas Misty Knight is just like, I have to get stuck with you. I think that's more of a Marvel thing, where it's like, oh, since Sony owns Peter Parker, we're just Peter Parker and Spider-Man stuff, we're just going to shit on Peter because fuck the readers, right? The villain is disinteresting, and what's also made me go, no, was they literally do the Morbin time meme You guys remember that from when Morbius came out? And they had that whole I liked when Morbius said it's Morbin time and morbed all over the place. Yeah, they bring that meme back even though it had been dead for 2 years. Yeah, the villain, I shit you not, goes, yeah, it's Morbin time, and Morbius goes, if you ever say that again, I will kill you. And I'm like, that was the joke. Morbius thinks the meme is dumb. That's your joke setup. Yeah, the meme is very much dead now. When the comic itself references the joke, yeah, no. But I will say that, like, it made the most sense to have Morbius here in a vampire storyline. What better way to have a Spider-Man story than with the living vampire, someone who is half in, half out of his rogues gallery half the time, more often than not. But Morbius barely he's kind of integral to be found. But yeah, Colleen and Misty, yeah, those two, they barely do anything. And Morbius himself is just kind of like half in, half out about the whole. It feels like he's just bored the whole time. So yeah. It's not good. The artwork's fine. The artwork by Marcelo Ferreira and Chris Campa with inks by, I had to look it up, Roberto Poggi and a few others. The artwork is good. It's serviceable. It's nothing like, wow, this is amazing. But the story itself is just forgettable. It is a forgettable storyline for an event that had a lot of importance. And a lot of good tie-ins. So I just wanted to read this because I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of I love Miles Morales, but I kind of want to give. Let's read a Peter Parker book. And then I read a Peter Parker book, and I was hoping it'd be better since it wasn't the Zeb Wells books. I regret that decision. If you're looking to collect Blood Hunt trades, just skip that one. The story doesn't feel important. It doesn't have any weight. The jokes are bad. The action's pretty awful. It's just kind of there. It feels like this comic is the most unimportant of the Blood Hunt tie-ins, and really just kind of felt like we needed somewhere to distract Peter Parker so he won't be in the main event. So there you go. Anyway, Chris always says to be honest in these comic reviews, but yeah. So yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below. If you read this story, let me know what you thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.